you to the cut. I see the way your eyes have lost their fire, and how the road has taken something higher than you thought you'd ever have to pay for being who you are from day to day. But I have seen you at your absolute most brilliant and most beautifully acute, and I refuse to watch you disappear into the gray of someone else's fear. I refuse to let the story end this way, with everything you are just fading gray. Rise with me tonight, above the doubt and all the pain tonight, and let the stars know your name. You were built for more than this, more than breaking in the dark. Reunite and show the world the fire in your heart. The fire in your heart. I know the nights have been your enemy. I know the mirror's been unkind to see. I know you've talked yourself into the ground until the silence was the only sound. But silence is a liar wearing truth, and tired is not permanent, it's just a bruise. And every single person who became someone extraordinary felt this same. You think the world has moved beyond your reach. You think the things you want are past the breach. But I am standing here with both hands out, ready to be proven wrong about your doubt. Rise with me tonight. Don't let the darkness win the war. With me tonight. That's what the darkness is there for, to make the rising sweeter, to make the light more real. With me tonight. And let me show you how it feels to be alive, to actually feel I have been where you are standing. I have stood at this exact edge and looked out over all that nothing, and felt the pull beyond the ledge. And what brought me back was someone standing close enough to say, you are not finished, you are not done, you are not the worst of what today has made you feel you are. You are the sum of every beautiful intention, every brave and broken try, every morning that you made it through. You have no idea see the way your eyes have lost their fire, and how the road has taken something higher than you thought you'd ever have to pay for being who you are from day to day. But I have seen you at your absolute most brilliant and most beautifully acute, and I refuse to watch you disappear into the gray of someone else's fear. I refuse to let the story end this way, with everything you are just fading gray. Rise with me tonight.
It wasn't a storm, it wasn't a fight, it wasn't the slamming of a door at night. It was quieter than that, more final somehow, like the last light leaving a room, and I didn't know how to name what I was watching as it slowly went away. How a love that filled the years could just dissolve inside a day, without a word, without a warning shot, without a trace, just the last light leaving and the dark taking its place. I've seen sunsets that I thought would never end. I've seen the longest summers finally bend into autumn without asking for permission. That's the way it went, without a word, without a vision. When the last light leaves, you don't hear it go. When the last light leaves, you just stop to know that the room is different, that the warmth has changed. When the last light leaves, nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. I looked across the table and I saw it there, in the way you held your coffee, in the way you didn't care to look up when I entered, didn't notice when I left. Just two people in a house, running low on breath. And I wanted to reach over, shake the table, make some noise, say, remember when this kitchen had a different kind of voice. But the man I've become knows better than to beg the light to stay, when the light has made its choice to go away. So I sat there in the half-dark, watching daylight die. Didn't reach across the table, didn't ask you why. Some endings are too honest to be dressed in drama's clothes. Some endings just wear silence and the closing of a door. When the last light leaves, you don't feel the cold. When the last light leaves, you just feel old and tired in a way that sleep can never really cure. When the last light leaves, nothing feels what was pure. I sat there until midnight. I sat there until the street went quiet too. I sat there in the dark of what we'd been and what we'd become, and I understood that some things don't end loudly, some things just exhale, like a candle that burns faithful to the very end of its wick and simply stops. And the room isn't angry, and the room isn't sad. It's just a room now, just walls, just air, the way it was before. We filled it with everything we had. Everything was always gonna be okay, gonna be okay. Even now, even this way, even in the dark of what we couldn't say. When the last light leaves, you learn to love the dark. Never talked about forever. We just talked about tonight. And every night became another, till the days outweighed the light. You'd say my name like a question, like a prayer. We were building something careful on foundations made of air. Maybe we were more than maybe, maybe less than I believed. Somewhere in that in-between was where I loved you most, it seemed. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where we lived and didn't ask why. In the hallway of almost and nearly there, with your hand in mine and your scent in the air. We never said the word we meant, we just held on where the feeling went. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where I'll find you. If close my eyes. Your coat still hangs beside the doorway. Your coffee cup still stain the shelf. I keep the light on in the kitchen, as if you might come home yourself. We were good at almost loving. We were fluent in the gray, and every morning felt like either could be our first or final day. Still translating what you meant to say, still lost inside the haze. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where we lived and didn't ask why. In the hallway of almost and nearly there, with your hand in mine and your love in the air. We never said the word we meant. We just held on where the feeling went. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where I love you for the rest of my life. Catch myself saying it out loud again, in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of the rain. It comes up uninvited, like a song I never learned, but somehow know the words to every time it returns. 3 syllables that change the shape of everything I am. A name that turned an ordinary man into someone who would drive through the night just to stand outside a window in the half-light. They say a name is just a sound the air makes. They say it carries nothing on its own, but they've never had a name become a heartbeat. They've never had a name become a home. times at once, just to see it there beside the printed words, as if it somehow made it more real, more heard. I scratched it from the wood grain of the kitchen floor the night you said this wasn't working anymore. And all I kept repeating as you walked out through the door was just your name, nothing more. Some men pray to something they can't see or touch. Some men find their altar in a bottle or a crutch. I found mine in 4 letters and the space between, the most beautiful and devastating thing. The weight of your name bounds me to the ground. The weight of your name is the only sound that ever made this silence feel like something whole. The weight of your name is written on my soul. It's written on my soul. I've tried replacing it with distance and with time, with strangers and with cities and with wine. But at the bottom of each glass, at the end of every road, there it is again, your name, impossible to let go. Say it once and it becomes a revelation. Say it twice and it becomes a prayer. Say it every night for all the years I've carried it, and it becomes the only name I'll ever wear. The weight of your name I'll carry to the end. The weight of your name around every bend. It's not a burden, it's the only proof I have that something this real, this deep, this absolute could actually last. The weight of your name is the weight of my life, the weight of my love, the weight of the night that cuts so clean. I thank it every day. The weight of your name will never fade away, never fade away. Your name, still carrying it, still yours. Daytime's fine, I'm managing the light. I do my work, I answer when they ask if I'm alright. I laugh at all the right moments, I say the proper things. I've gotten very good at wearing ordinary skin. But when the sun goes under and the dark rolls in, that's when all the honest parts of me begin to surface like a wreck. The daylight hides the things I keep below the waterline, and all the memories I thought that I'd forgotten come back so clear, so whole, so sharp, so honest. The way you slept, the way you said my name at night, the way the dark remembers everything. The day pretends it's fine. What the dark remembers, the daylight never shows. What the dark remembers, only the lonely knows. Every tender moment, every whispered word. What the dark remembers hits the hardest. What the dark remembers cuts the deepest. What the dark remembers, you. I've rearranged the furniture, the room, moved everything so nothing holds the shape of you. But darkness doesn't care about furniture. Darkness puts you right back where you were. 3 in the morning and I'm wide awake with every conversation that we used to make. The arguments that didn't need to happen, the apologies that came too late or never came. And I replay the moments I got wrong. I replay the moments where I wasn't strong, where I should have stayed and I walked out, where I should have spoken but I gave you down. What the dark remembers, the daylight never shows. What the dark remembers, only the lonely knows. Every foolish moment, every door I slammed. What the dark remembers won't be silenced. What the dark remembers won't be reasoned. What the dark remembers dance. I've heard that time rewrites the painful parts, that memory grows merciful with years. But my memory's a courtroom in the dark that replays every scene in vivid tears. I'm not asking for a pardon, I'm not asking to forget. I'm just asking for one morning where the night lets me reset. One sunrise without your face, one dawn without your name, one ordinary Tuesday that doesn't end the same. remembers is the truest ground, the most honest sound, the realest thing around. What the dark remembers is what love feels like when it's real, when it's real, when it's real, real, still real. What the dark remembers is you, is you. We had a plan, we had a road, a list of names for kids we'd never known. We marked the towns in red and blue. We had a whole life mapped for two. I kept the folded paper still inside the drawer beside the sill. Sometimes I take them in my hands and trace the roots to promised lands. But the roads kept splitting without warning, and we chose different ends of morning until the distance swallowed whole. Every plan we'd ever told, burn the maps we drew together. Every promise made of paper, every destination crossed in pen. I can't go back to who I was back then. Burn the maps, burn the dreaming. God, it hurts to see the meaning of two people who believed they knew where the road was going, me and you. So burn the maps, just burn the maps we drew. You used to say that love was north, the only compass worth it all. So I gave up the other roads and followed you through the undertow. But north kept shifting in your hands, and I kept losing where I'd stand, till one December cold and still, you packed the map and left the hill. I'm not angry anymore, I'm just standing at the door of a house we built with borrowed time and borrowed trust and borrowed rhymes. Maybe loving was enough, even when it wasn't tough enough to last. Maybe two good people at the wrong crossroads Used to think that love was something permanent, like stone or tide or something carved in deep. But you came in and loved me like a season does, completely, and then left me in the sleep of winter, without warmth, without a compass. And I cursed you from the floor for months on end. Then slowly, very slowly started finding the parts of me you broke and helped me mend. Because broken things have edges, and those edges catch the light in ways that all things never can. And maybe that is what you were here teaching, that the ending was the beginning of the man. The ending that made me was the night you walked away. The ending that remade me out of everything that frayed. The ending that saved me was the one I thought would break me whole. The ending that became me is the deepest part I know. The ending was the making of my soul. I'm not the same man that you left that evening. I've grown into the space that grief creates. I've learned to sit with loss without it breaking the room that I've been learning how to make. And if you saw me now, I'd wanna tell you, not with anger and not with the old pain. There's something about loving you so fully, made it possible to love like that again. And I forgive you, not because you earned it, but because the weight of not forgiving costs too much. And I forgive myself for all the holding, for all the months I wouldn't let go of us, because we did the best with what we had then, because we loved as far as we could see, because the ending of a love like ours was never just an ending. It was the was not the end. Thank you for the ending that made me who I am. We met in the shadow of a Sunday afternoon. You were light through colored glass, and I was smoke-filled room. Two things that don't belong together, everyone could see. But belonging never stopped you reaching out for me. Your hands are clean and mine are stained. With every road I run, you believed in something holy, I believed in none. But somehow in the middle of our broken difference, we built something that I'd swear to before any witness. I've been in cathedrals and I've been in gutters. I've seen the best of men reduced to mumbles and shudders, but nothing I have witnessed in this long and ragged life moved me like the morning you decided to be mine. Smoke and stained glass, that's what we were. Smoke and stained glass, and the world just blurred. The holy and the broken finding common ground. Smoke and stained glass, the most beautiful sound of two lives colliding on sacred and scarred. Smoke and stained glass, two words, one heart. The congregation whispered and the neighbors shook their heads. Two people too different to be sharing prayers and beds. But we were something that the careful world can't understand. The fire and the water and the sea becoming land. You taught me how to sit still in the early morning light. I taught you that the darkness has its own kind of right. And somewhere in the teaching, we forgot to be afraid of all the beautiful, impossible we've made. I've been running from the righteous and the righteous thing to do, but nothing felt more righteous than the life I built with you. So call it what you want to, call it foolish, call it strange. I call it the one miracle that didn't need explaining. Smoke and stained glass, never have happened, but did. Smoking stained glass, that's still what we are. Smoking stained glass, near and broken far. The holy found the broken, and the broken found the grace. Smoking stained glass, the most sacred place, was every single moment that you called me yours. Smoking stained glass, eternal and pure. Eternal and pure. Stained glass, every broken, beautiful thing was us. I've walked through desert heat and mountain cold. I've seen the places where the young grow old. I've chased the sunset to the other side, and found that every sunset leads to you inside. Your photograph has crossed 1,000 miles. Inside my jacket next to every trial, a worn and faded corner creased with time. The only map I've needed, you are mine. They said the distance was too great to cross. They said some love can't carry all that cost. They measured everything in miles and years, and I just smiled and wiped away their tears. Because they never felt what I have felt. They never held the hand that made me melt. They never had a reason like you give to do the impossible and live. I would cross the world for you, through every storm and ocean wide. I would cross the world for you, through every dark and mountain high. There is no road too long, no sea too wide to swim. I would cross the world, I would burn it down and cross the world again and again for you. The telephone would ring at 3 a.m. Your voice so small across the miles and air. I lay there listening to you breathe and know that home was just a voice, and that's enough to go. I've slept in stations, terminals, and cars, beneath 100 different sets of stars. But every ceiling that I've stared up through had your name written in the dark where no one knew. The world said find someone a little closer. The world said love should be more practical. But practical is what you choose when you don't know yet what it means to feel this radical and raw and overwhelming. This absolutely certain and on fire. This thing that makes the impossible seem simple. This thing that makes a man a little higher. I would cross the world for you,
So call me from wherever you have landed. Call me from the edges of the earth. I'll be in my car and I'll be driving to wherever you are. That's what you are worth. That's what you're worth to me. Every mile, every year, every sacrifice, every tear, every border, every sea. You are worth I would cross the world for you. I'd cross it twice if once wasn't enough. I would cross the world for you, through every beautiful and rough. There is no force on earth, no time, no war that keeps me from you. Nothing keeps me from you. Nothing at all. I would cross the world. I would cross the whole world, the whole world, for you, for you. Always for you. Always for you. For you.
Standing at the crossroads of the life I had, and the life I'm supposed to walk by now. One road leads back to everything we shared. One road leads away, I don't know how. To choose between the gravity of memory and the open sky of something new. So I've been standing halfway in the darkness, halfway in the morning, halfway between me and you. The birds have started singing and the stars are going home. The world is waking up around a man who stands alone, halfway between the leaving and the long way back, halfway on a road that has no map. I'm halfway home, but I don't know which home I mean. Halfway home, in the space between what was and what could be, between your arms and something free. I'm halfway home, and nowhere in between. I called you from a payphone in a town I didn't know. 3 rings and then I hung up. Couldn't let you know that I was that close and still that far away, that I had 100 things I couldn't say. deserve.